Texas Hemp Party live on YouTube. Welcome everyone. It's Thursday. It's 1 p.m. Central Time, and that means Hemp Tours crew is here live to talk about hemp. And of course, we're Texas-based. We're a little bit biased towards, the Texas hemp. So we are hosting this Texas Hemp Party. So we're super stoked today. We thought, we've been super serious up on here lately. So it's been really fun and everything, but we want to bring back some music. So, of course, I'm your host, Leah Laxtons, a native Kentuckian with a passion for hemp. Super stoked that we've got our house DJ Marcus Prime with us.
Whoop, whoop. Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Yay.
Glad to be back.
Yes. And, of course, I'm with my fabulous co-hosts, your favorite mustache wearer, Captain Cannabis.
Hey guys.
Mustache wearer, does he take it off?
I guess mustache grower extraordinaire and experts on all things hemp related words, cannabis related words. And of course, yes. And of course, our producer, the amazing linguistical, is that a word? I don't know.
Yeah,
amazing, multi-talented, multicultural, multilinguistical Cynthia Morales.
It's lingual, but yeah.
Hey, it's our party. We can make up words if we want to.
Of course, yeah.
So, but as always, Cynthia also fact checks for us. So when we do make up words, she clearly tells everyone that we've made up that word. So you could always count on Hemp Tours to bring you the truth, to bring you the verified facts. Maybe after Daniel or I make some things up along the way, it does ultimately get corrected.
We all do.
Well, we're super stoked to be with y'all. As I mentioned, we have rebranded just a bit, guys. We're calling this the Texas Hemp Party. And, it's evolved into something really special. What started as us being like, oh, we're trapped at home, what do we do? Has now really evolved into a whole thing. Don't you think? Like, Cynthia, this is like our lives now.
I know. I love it. I don't feel so bad. And it's a good reminder of where we are in the week, because every day just kind of seems the same.
Exactly. We're like, well, it's Thursday. At least we knew that.
Yeah. Guess I should change and shower and get all dolled up.
Do our hair a little bit, the regular. And like I mentioned, we do have Marcus Prime with us. So, there's a lot of big fans of Marcus Prime out there. So please be sure to go to his Mixcloud, type in Marcus Prime, and you can find all his amazing mixes, as well as if you go to Instagram, you can also follow Marcus Prime there, and got a lot of awesome mixes there. Just a little more on Mixcloud, so be sure to do that. And Captain Cannabis, Daniel, you've been doing something pretty cool over the last several months. So if you guys want to go follow Captain Cannabis on his personal Instagram, dlaxtons, Lakstins, tell us about these videos that you've been putting out.
Well, we've been, the thing is, especially when this situation happened to all of us, I felt like the news has just been very negative. And, some of our friends that are the most positive people that we know, even they have been affected over months of just negativity. And it's understandable. I mean, we're in a situation we've never been in before. What does fear come from? The unknown. So I wanted to send out just positive affirmations, things that we can tell ourselves, whether we're in business. Some of us thought, oh, we're going to lose our businesses. Well, maybe we are going to lose our businesses, but I'm not going to think that way. I'm going to think I'm going to save my business. Not only that, I'm going to help other people save their businesses, or at least try to encourage them to shift their thinking to positivity. So if we're thinking positive, then we're going to draw more reality of that positivity into our lives. And guess what? You're going to feel so much better. You can make your own world here in your mind. And so because of those videos I've been doing, you and I and our team have been working on some courses where we're going to help people to manifest the things they've always wanted in their lives. And it really starts with readjusting and programming this here.
Yeah, most definitely. That's super exciting. So you guys can go to Instagram or follow Daniel on LinkedIn to see those weekly videos. I think you've been putting out one every Monday, Motivation Monday, and you're expanding that a little bit. So be sure to follow for the latest, greatest videos. So now we'd like to take a little intermission while we enjoy the day, reflect on all the amazing things that have happened this week. And Marcus Prime, can you give us some tunes to reflect?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Let's get it.
Volume, guys.
Marcus, can we get a little louder? Get a little refresh. You know, we're getting it.
I know. I can hear it. No, I can't now.
Don't worry, technical difficulties, but we always seem to get things working after a bit.
Oh, there it is.
There you
Almost.
go.
We couldn't hear you, Marcus. Oh yeah. Oh.
When the face is out and taught and sudden, take it in your heart, take it in your heart. Back to when it was cool, 'cause there's no substitute. Who even knows the truth, the truth, the truth. Take it in your heart, 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 heart. Page one is love. Page one is love. Page one is love.
Hemp Party.
Page one is love. Couldn't turn around till we were upside down. I'll be the bad guy now, but no, I ain't so proud. I couldn't be there, even when I tried. You don't believe it. We do this every time. Seasons change and our love went cold. Feed the flag 'cause we can't let go. Run away, but we're running in circles. Run away, run away. I dare you to do so. I'm waiting for you, so I don't take it back. Run away, but we're running in circles. Run away, run away, run away. I got a feeling that it's time to let go. I said so. I know that this was true from the get-go.
Beat goes on and on and on and on. Your picture perfect blue, sunbathing on the moon, stars shining as your bones illuminate. First kiss just like a drug, under your influence. It took me away, the magic in my veins. This must be love. Boom, clap, sound of my heart. The beat goes on and on and on and on. Boom, clap, make me feel good. Come out to me now. Boom, clap, sound of my heart. The beat goes on and on and on and on. Boom, clap, make me feel good. Come out to me now. You are the light and I'm the follow. You let me lose my shadow. You are the sun that glows with halo. You keep running me up with all your love. Boom, clap, sound in my heart. The beat goes on and on and on and on. Boom, clap, make me feel good. Come out to me now. Boom, clap, sound in my heart. The beat goes on and on and on and on. Boom, clap, make me feel good. Come out to me now.
Streets like a jungle, so call the police. Following the herd down to Greece. On holiday up in the 90s, it's paranoid. On sunny beaches, take your chances. Looking for girls who are boys, who like boys, who need girls, who do boys like their girls, who do girls like their boys. Always should be someone you really love. Avoiding all work, 'cause there's none available. Like battery thinkers, gang of thoughts on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers, nothing is wasted. Only reproduce. You get nasty blisters. the section. We have a thing introduced girls who are boys, who like boys, who think girls, who dig boys on their girls, who dig girls on their boys. Always should be someone you really love. Girls who are
Yeah.
boys, who dig girls,
Oh yeah.
Awesome. What a way to start out the show
Marcus.
today. Hell yeah, Marcus. That was amazing. We
You are
loved it.
very, very welcome. Hold on, let me turn on my camera real quick. All right, there we go. You are very, very welcome.
Woo.
And what's
Killed it.
Marcus's DJ name?
It's DJ Marcus Prime.
Marcus
Oh,
Prime.
I like that.
You know it. That was amazing. So what a way to kick us off to a great start today. So we're going to talk about, you know how we like to do it, all the latest, greatest news in the world of hemp, primarily Texas, but all hemp for sure. So what we wanted to talk a little bit about today is Normal's got this petition out to send to both Biden and Trump, straight up telling them to end marijuana prohibition. So we know that a lot of change in our country happens through really kind of simple means, like just sending out our voices out to our representatives that change can happen. So if this is something that is important to you, which we think that it should be, and I'm sure that it is if you're watching this show, then go to Texas Normal's website and click on this petition. You can see they already put your name in it. They have a lot of things that they're talking about here, including expungement, descheduling, reinvesting. And I think this is something that's really important as more and more people get into the hemp industry, especially I would say just in the last 3 to 5 months, we've had so many friends that have contacted us like, hey, I want to invest in cannabis. I read this thing on Motley Fool that says I'm going to make, millions. And we're like, okay, yeah, obviously they're not telling, chill yourself. Obviously they're not telling you in those articles that, the Canadian cannabis market is huge, but they can't sell into the US. The US can't sell into Canada. Every state is like its own country when it comes to legalized cannabis over 0.3% THC, and actually even under 0.3%. The hemp rules are different in every state.
Again, mostly because federally speaking, it's still a Schedule 1 drug. So that causes a problem, but it allows the states to make individual rules, which is what's happening now. So
exactly. So we'd like to see that changed, which it recently was for hemp. Very exciting when hemp was descheduled completely and removed from that Schedule 1 list. So, there's a lot to be done here. And we feel like if you're going to invest in cannabis stocks or invest in a cannabis business, that you should also be aware that there are still people today in the United States, in states where adult use is legal, like Colorado, that are in prison for cannabis arrests, which is insane.
That is
insane. and shocking, but this is true. So if you're
and this is not, we're not just talking about, the big drug cartels, lords, and things like that. No, we're talking about, daily users, minimal types of arrests that, it's nothing compared to what business is doing.
Exactly. So if you...
And think about it, maybe someone's a first listener right now. I mean, there's kids that are in Colorado, the parents moved them there because they had epilepsy, and nothing would control the epilepsy except for this legal marijuana product that they were selling in Colorado. But for 6 years, it's been legal and people are using it. And there's people in that state, I mean, hundreds or maybe thousands of people that are in jail. We got to get, I mean, it's insane. Are we the human race, or are we apes, or are we cavemen still?
Yeah, that's it. And so if you're going to invest in the industry, please also go support causes like Last Prisoner Project that are working to get these individuals out of incarceration, because we think, like I think most people think, that it's insane that billions of dollars are being made in this industry while people are still in jail for having a gram, an ounce of marijuana from 1995. So let's work together to get these people out, because our dollars speak as Americans. And as this industry continues to blow up, it's amazing. Let's not forget about those and leave behind anyone inside of these prisons. Let's get them all out,
Hey,
bring them all home.
I have a question, Leah. Does that mean that a protester, I mean, we should all just get up and go and protest? Is that the quickest way to make a change, or what's the easiest, safest, smartest way?
You know,
Well, yeah.
I think the first step is to enroll in a course that will let you know exactly what to do. You know, please study, research. We just started doing the one from Texas Normal, and they're talking about how to become an advocate. So it's not just what to do exactly, you know, for one specific way, but there's a variety of ways in which you can help.
So you're saying that if you're passionate about a subject, you should educate yourself as much as you can, so that way when you do speak on the subject, that you're not saying something that is untrue, and then you lose your credibility. I mean, if someone's talking to a congressperson and they don't know what they're talking about, like, well, there's a difference between hip and, but they did a good job. You know, I mean, our legal marijuana program is only 0.5%. And most people, once you study about this plant, most people would say that is just a very low THC hemp plant. That's all it is. So we want to educate ourselves before, but protesting is not necessarily the way that we can get there. The way we get there is by calling up our local congressperson and talking to them sincerely from our heart, once we're educated enough to talk to them about this. And so that's great, Cynthia, too. You mentioned to go for those programs where it's free. You know, Jax has got that, and Heather have that program that they'll educate you on what to say.
And
On
just as
how
an
to
example,
be an
too,
advocate.
I mean, it is really easy to get in contact with your congressman or your congresswoman. I used to be in contact with my congressman who had been already on the seat for about 23 years. And he was a Republican. He was a climate change denier, but he always, listened. He always replied back, and he always made sure that he showed that he listened. And that's what I think a lot of people are afraid of, that they're just going to send these letters and they're not going to be heard and their voice is not going to be heard, but that they listen. As a government official, they usually listen.
Yeah, I mean, they do. They're supposed to listen, and the matter of fact that they do. And not only that, if enough people, if enough voices start, showing the same concern, then he's definitely going to listen, or she, they're definitely going to listen. It doesn't matter.
Well, especially if they didn't know. If someone, a lot of people sit there and say, well, wow, they should have known, or they're thinking this way or whatever. It's like, a lot of times these people just don't know. And so you listening, you could be the one to educate, not fight the person, but educate them and then win them over. We win each other over with our hearts. So use your heart to reach out to that person.
And I think reaching out to Congress is one of the best ways, because you think about a senator, they've got millions of people that are their constituents. And certainly, reach out to as many people as you can. But step one, I would say reach out to your state's congressperson and then your state, federal representative, because like a state congressperson, they sometimes have less than 100,000 constituents. So your voice can get there a lot easier. And we've certainly seen change take place. And it's not to say that protesting cannot have results, but I think this is the place to start when we want to see change happen, for sure.
It
So
is the safest place.
Get out there and make your voice heard, for sure, as always. So on this note, we actually, Cynthia and I were on this webinar this morning from one of my favorite people in the industry, Cheryl Powell, who is just absolutely incredible. She's a cannabis attorney based out of Florida. I have no idea how she does so much, because she's also on the board of the U.S. Hemp Building Association. She's intricately involved in a lot of organizations. And this is her newest project. It's called Cannabiziac. And if you're looking to get into the industry or you're already in the hemp or cannabis industry, I recommend that you go check these guys out. What it is basically a virtual co-working space. They're also providing incubator, accelerator services, access to attorneys inside of the space, and all kinds of amazing, cool events and meetups. It's really inexpensive, the membership, I thought, for everything that they're providing. So be sure to go to cannabiziac.com and check this out. They just launched it, and I think this is going to end up being one of the biggest places that we're all going to be coming together as like-minded individuals in this industry. And we're hoping that Cheryl's going to come on the show in a few weeks, which I'm super stoked about. We'll see. I feel like I'm just going to lock up and not be able to talk and be like, but definitely go check out Cannabiziac and follow Cheryl Powell on LinkedIn. Now, tomorrow, there's something pretty cool happening. Last month, I was on the Pharm Lab Phorum 1.0. As y'all probably know, Pharm Labs is one of our verified lab partners in conjunction with Greenlight Events, who curates our events list for our members. They've put together Pharm Lab Phorum 2.0. And our very own Cynthia Morales will be on here tomorrow, along with some really cool people. Jake from Pharm Labs, Chris Taylor from Lumen, which is a really interesting whole plant beverage company out of Dallas. There she is.
Yay, Cynthia.
Yay. Adorable. And Grace, our great friend Grace from the Texas CBD blog. And Andy Stewart, who has also been in the space for about 5 years on the extraction side. So if you want to see this tomorrow, you need to go to greenlighteventsco.com and click on Pharm Lab Phorum at the top and then register to get the Zoom link to this event that will be going down tomorrow. Do you have any sneak peek? You have any sneak peek for us, Cynthia? What's it going to be like? Or they have to go to find out?
You have to go to find out, but it will be live on Facebook too. So you can watch it there, interact, or go to get on the actual Zoom link and then ask us questions. Then you would want to register right on it. But it's basically going to talk a little bit about, of course, Hemp Tours, the tour and the education part, but also all the new stuff that we've been working on and developing and trying to get out, and how we've been surviving through COVID.
I tried to convince Cynthia to do it all in Spanish, but then it didn't make sense because
Nadie de las personas que están ahí habla español. No me van a entender nada.
Yeah, sí.
Sí, yeah. We have to go to an act, or we gotta create one soon. But yeah. That's also what I'm going to be talking to them about, the stuff the translation part of it, because a lot of people in Texas, especially, are bilingual, and some of them do prefer to speak about it in Spanish. And it's also a good way to introduce it to Spanish moms and grandmas and, aunts, uncles, anybody that is wanting to talk about it, but you don't have the words to say it. So that's kind of what inspired us to start doing a Spanish word of the day by Hemp Tours.
Yes. Should we do that right now?
Sí, si quieres.
¿Qué es la español? No, pregunta de español, ¿no?
Yeah. So, up here we have, how do you say, and then you say your word, or ¿cómo se dice? And you say your words. So, of course, since we're Hemp Tours, I figured today we'd start off with hemp. ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice hemp en español? ¿Cómo se dice? Do you know? Does anybody know?
¿Cómo se dice?
¿Cómo se dice
hemp en español?
Marcus, you're muted. Estás.
No sé.
No sé.
Marcos.
He stole my comment.
En español.
Muy bien. Sí, well, I didn't start with the word cannabis, because cannabis is super easy. Cannabis is cannabis.
Yeah.
Pero hemp, oh, you gotta press the arrow there, Leah. Yeah. Hemp en español es cáñamo.
Yay.
Cáñamo, cáñamo.
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 Can you speak to a mole? Can you mole? Or no?
Cáñamo.
Or can the mole do it for us? Can you?
So,
Cáñamo. So what would our name be?
would it be Turista de Cáñamo?
Ah, sí. Tú
Really?
eres,
Is it
Excelente.
Turista?
well, turista
Or
would be the person, the tourist.
right, okay.
But it would
Oh,
just,
and just to mention, oh, sorry.
it's the same. We can say it as a cognate. Tours.
Tours de
Tours.
Cáñamo.
Oh.
And we might mention to the English speakers that whenever you see that little inye above the end there, that it makes it into a nye sound. So mo. You're right, Cynthia?
Cáñamo. Yeah, exactly. Correct. Muy bien.
That's kind of like the R.
Capitán Cannabis.
Right.
Muy bien.
Aplauso, aplauso.
Sí.
Dankeschön. Oops, sorry, that's German.
All right.
Gracias. Muchas gracias.
Gracias.
But it's like the R has a D sound sometimes.
So to use it
I
as in
love
a
this.
sentence, you would say it's something
That's-
like "Dónde está de tours de cáñamo?"
Sí.
Ah.
Bien, Marcus. Sí, muy bien. ¿Dónde
Where
están
is the hip tours?
los tours de Cáñamo? Sí,
Los tours de
los tours
Cáñamo.
de Cáñamo ahorita están en Austin, pero estamos cerrados. We're closed right
Right.
now. No tours ahorita.
Es
Ahora,
virtual.
Exacto.
Todos virtual.
Muy bien, Lea, sí, los tours están virtual.
Virtual.
Sí, yeah.
Virtual.
This is amazing. I think this is the best segment we've ever come up with. And I'm personally very excited. Cáñamo.
Muy bien, yeah. So every week we'll, introduce a new word. Hopefully have some Spanish speakers or learners, and they'll.
Oh, I have an idea on the memory hood forum. It's like say if you're gonna cut down your hemp plants, can you mow them? Can you mow? Can you mow?
Cáñamo.
Just a memory hook.
Oh,
Cáñamo.
Muy
I
bien.
love it.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, guys. So be sure to tune in every week, and we promise in 1 year you will speak fluent cannabis Spanish. Cáñamo, español de cáñamo.
Muy bien. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, we also wanted to talk a little bit about two sort of interesting legal subjects that keep coming up recently. So a lot of people are asking, is it legal to manufacture hemp in Texas? So the question is kind of complicated because
there's a ton of manufacturers.
there might be. We might know of that, or we might not. We don't want to legally.
The sentence should be: there's a lot of people making products.
Yes.
Not necessarily. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. So in Texas,
how do you define the
and that's it. That's the question. So in Texas, we already have rules out for farming. You can see the dominoes here on texasagriculture.gov. So rules are out. You can get a license to farm it. That's legal. You can get a license to extract it from TDA. That's legal. Now, once it's extracted, it's in maybe crude format, maybe distillate. There's a few places where that can be. And this is where some confusion comes in, because what if you've extracted it? At what point does it become manufacturing? When you're combining it with hemp seed oil to make a tincture, or at the part where it's crude and then you're doing something with that? Is that manufacturing? So basically it's a little open-ended. So TDA says, hey, extracting is under us, but anything to do with consumable, once it's a consumable, they send you to DSHS, right? Consumables, products, CBD oil. So they're saying once it's an oil, then that's beyond us. So they would seem to be implying here that distillate, crude, that is what this this license from TDA is for. And then if you're going to make it all the way into oil, you need to go to DSHS. Now we know DSHS had draft rules out. There is a rumor right now, guys, that we heard from the Coates Rose webinar, Toke Talk Tuesday, which again is like a must subscribe if you're in the industry, that these rules are going to be coming out like within a couple weeks. So we thought they might be getting kicked till next year. That's not, apparently the rumor is it's not going to happen. These rules are going to be out soon. So we, of course, will be reviewing those for our partner brands and retailers. And we encourage you to if you haven't already gotten legal counsel on this, we have some amazing cannabis attorneys in the state. Go get some legal counsel. But if we go to DSHS now, let's say we want to make this all the way into an oil. What do they say about manufacturing? Because the license isn't out yet, but yet they say that retailing, yes, you're allowed to retail it. Boom, straight up yes, even though there's no retailer license yet.
Yay.
But manufacturing's just a little bit different, because notice, I love how like everywhere else they're like yes, no, yes, but on this one they started it with the
Yeah,
like,
until USDA approves Texas hemp plant.
yeah, it's like, I don't know, we don't want to know about it, don't talk to us about it, essentially. So they're like, until there's a plan in place, the only ingredient on the FDA GRAS list is hemp seed oil, hemp protein, whole hemp seeds, and that these products are under, the food manufacturing license, but they're really vague, and it's not a yes, but it's arguably not a complete no here either. So I would really say, is it legal to manufacture hemp in Texas? It's up to the way that your general counsel, your attorney has interpreted it, if you are manufacturing all the way to oils here. And certainly I wouldn't expect any kind of legal precedent to be set on this when we're so close to the final rules coming out. But it is not a clear yes, and not quite a clear no either. So be sure to always, get in touch with your legal counsel on confusing items like this. And on this subject, there's another confusing item that keeps coming up, right, Cynthia? We've been asked, about 100 times in the last 30 days?
Which one?
About
Delta 8. I'm like, which one? Several. But yes, the total THC versus Delta 8, Delta 9, Delta H. Yeah.
So
but
there was
Delta 8 is legal. It's not mentioned. It's legal, right?
So as much as we would love it to just be straight up like, oh my God, we're going to go Delta 8. By the way, Marcus, have you heard of Delta 8 yet?
I was going to say I have not, and I didn't even know there was different types of THC
there
like that.
Are so many other cannabinoids.
THCA.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm
I'll
learning a
just
lot
mention-
right now.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a lot of cannabinoids, and everyone knows Delta 9, right? So, and the thing is when the plant develops cannabinoids, the cannabinoid is the master one is the CBG, and then it turns into these other ones, and as they degrade throughout time, they can become other types of THC cannabinoids. So, but anyways, go ahead, Cynthia. It was good.
And depending on their process, how early you cut them, their afterwards, how they get decarboxylate. It's just everything matters. So.
And with Delta 8, so basically it gives you
does get you high.
It gives you a similar euphoric effect to Delta 9, but it can be manufactured in a couple of different ways. And one is that CBD, or I should say hemp with high CBD, can be turned into Delta 8. So kind of appealing because it's kind of federally legal, honestly, because, but then is it, right? So
it'll get you there, just not quite there.
Yeah, well, it'll get you pretty much all the way there.
No, it'll get you a really nice buzz. Chamomile get you a buzz, but this could get you.
Yeah, but this is kind of just gonna give you an idea of how the market's gonna go as well, because as new cannabinoids keep getting discovered, we're gonna have to put new rules and regulations on it. Which is why it's very important not to limit yourself. But consumers barely know about CBD and THC, You know, like calm down, everyone. Why are you
Congress
trying to
people
Delta 8? Like Marcus,
don't even know.
And is
if
this
you
all
were to
coming
go-
from?
Marcus, if you were to go into a shop and you see Delta 8, would you think that it's a real product or kind of like a ripoff of Delta 9?
I would think it would be like
Or the
a
brand.
supplement, kind of like you're taking your like omega-3s and like stuff like that, but with hemp.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you know, it can be, but yeah, the consumer doesn't know, so why start jumping onto something that?
And is this all new information that they've started getting because they've had to like lab test things and like figure out what's going to be legal and what's not legal?
Yeah, and I think, you know, any way that we can get something like full THC up in these states where it's not legal, everyone's looking for that opportunity, right? And a lot of people are looking for the next big thing, which they think will be another cannabinoid, which I agree with, but I just don't think people understand maybe that the consumer is going to need like another year or two. You got like 30% of people that have never heard of CBD. So already jumping to like the next one for consumers maybe is a little confusing.
CBN, you know,
Yeah.
now Delta 8, it's like, okay, calm down.
And the other ones are pretty easy and clearly legal. But this one's a little difficult because if this is tested, like it'll test. So when law enforcement here in Texas, when they test cannabis, they only get a yes or no. It's not like, oh, it's this percentage. Like a field test is like, yes, it's cannabis. And then now they will send it to a lab to determine the amount, to determine if it's hemp or marijuana. So this Delta 8 is gonna, like, depending on the percentage, that will all show as THC. They're gonna get the lab back and it's gonna be like THC Delta 9 percentage, THC Delta 8. So now you've got to explain to law enforcement why, oh yeah, but the Delta 8 is extracted from hemp and our law only says Delta 9, even though our farm bill says combined THC. So it's still legal. So it's like kind of a jump that both the consumer and the retailer would have to make. And this article came out from our good friends over at Ritter Spencer. Paul's been doing an amazing job on their blog. And it really summarizes it really nicely about the arguments of why it is legal, but also from a retailer stocking this or a brand stocking this perspective, this is like still fairly risky, or I would say probably the riskiest thing right now that you could possibly do. So and there's no precedent set yet on if courts are going to rule one way or another.
You want to be that setter.
Yeah. Do you want to?
I think there's a lot of brave companies out there though, because they've been doing CBD. I mean, CBD was not legal whatsoever in Texas, and there was shops everywhere.
Yep.
Well, it was a very, very, very gray area, and that no precedent had been set on legally, right? And ultimately, precedents did have to be set.
Advocate in it.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And precedents were set across the country on it, you know? So like, and somebody footed those legal bills. So, you know, if you want that to be you, more power to you. We would love to see this proved legal in court. But if you don't quite have the budget for that and you don't have current legal representation, you know, maybe.
Or if you don't have insurance, if you don't have general product liability insurance. Okay, guys. Oh my goodness.
This is like something to avoid for sure. Yeah. So along those lines, if you want the latest, greatest of all this information, you can go to higheredhemptours.com, sign up to be a partner with us, get access to our badass dashboard where we give you all the latest, greatest gossip in the world of hemp every week. Here's what the brands are saying about us. Here's the prices that we have and the opportunities that we have available. So we'd love to have you join our team.
And let me just say this too, Leah. It's like the price is cheaper than what anyone in the industry that is a consultant, or you're gonna be paying between $3,000 to $6,000 to start out, and they can join this program and be educated. And you know, we're not gonna be. If someone wants to hire as consultants, but they can do that too. But oh my goodness, this is the most inexpensive way to protect your business.
Well, we also want to make sure that, you know, well, one, we have to profit our work and time, but we want to make it as easy for the consumers to be able to attend our events for free. And that way, by us partnering with other cannabis industry, ancillaries and, from labs to farming to the final products retail, it's just a good network, and I think the community here, especially in Texas, has been really good about that. And everybody really understands the power of collaboration. And in the end, the more people we educate and talk about it, the better for all of us. So we try to make it as equal and even as possible. So.
Absolutely. And here's a little peek behind the scenes of the dashboard. We do our This Week in Hemp recap. We have some amazing brands and partners. Asante Labs just came on with us. We mentioned Pharm Labs. And the brands are all listed here, which is really cool because then the brands can collaborate with each other. And the retailers can find these brands easily on here. So really cool stuff on here. Wow. And then of course our education courses are all on here as well for free to our subscribers. Our purple back screen. Remember when we used to be able to stand next to each other?
I know.
You are so close. 6 feet apart. 6 feet apart.
Obviously, this
was before.
This has been,
For sure.
We've been building.
Make a note now. This was recorded.
You guys for a long time.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to focus on education for brands, retailers, and new employees like from the beginning. And we're super stoked that we have it all built out. So if you do want to subscribe, just go to higheredhemptours.com, click on brand sign up, get to go through the application, then you'll schedule a call with us, pick your subscription plan, and get started connecting inside of the industry for sure.
I want to do it right now.
Yeah, yes, please. And we've got some exciting stuff coming up because we've got a couple of farms that we're going to be going out to. We've got some new retailers. It's kind of just every time we've gotten ready to do it, then it's like, oh, we're locked back down again. Or some random person comes near me that might have COVID, and then I got to stay home again for 2 weeks. So, but so far so good. COVID free.
This Sunday. Yeah, July 19th is actually National Ice Cream Day. So super hot right now, so perfect timing, right? But we wanted to tell you about Prohibition ice cream.
Yeah.
One of our stops, whenever we did the walking tour, and they have 2 now new CBD.
Ooh.
So delicious.
Yes. So they're.
I was about to ask if there's any ice cream CBD stuff out there. I need to try this. Definitely.
Yes.
It's so good. And you can have a beer or other alcohol drinks are delicious.
They do. They have boozy ice cream. They have CBD ice cream.
Oh,
yeah. They have a regular ice cream. But yeah, their red velvet was their usual one, and now they have they have a summer kit too, which is awesome. You get a free ice cream when you buy that.
Oh my goodness!
And are they doing curbside or anything like that? Are they currently open?
They have a patio outside, but they are doing curbside and delivery and pickup. So yeah, they have a little.
So you can sit on the patio.
Yeah, so go sit in the patio, get some CBD ice cream, and do
the mask.
They're part of our self-guided tour, and that's already on our link in bio on our Instagram.
Ooh.
It'll officially, you'll see it on Monday.
If I can get it. That's awesome. We've been wanting to drop this self-guided tour for quite some time. So we're excited to.
I know. We want in-person tours, of course, but they're
self-guided.
Yeah.
Amazing. So you got Kind of Tropical, get that CBD waffle, Trulevia, Prohibition Creamery, Joy Organics, Shop Mary J, Restart, and Elevated Wellness. That's a fun little tour right there for sure.
Take your friends, your family, your new boyfriend, your new girlfriend.
Yes, you can stop at all 7 locations, and then you claim your prize. So it'll tell you what to do.
So you go online to our website and submit that, show that you went to all the stops, honor system. So, you know, be honest, and then you get some cool prizes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whoop, whoop.
And it's fun. It's something to do for the, an afternoon, Saturday
Yeah.
afternoon.
Exactly. Get out of your
something.
house. We know you've been stuck in there for months.
Exactly.
Or you can do it in
Months.
the evening and make it feel like you're, like things are back to normal. The more we feel like we're back to
Well, I
normal,
mean,
the sooner it's going to come.
do it all in one day. We are taking you from North Central Austin all the way to Trulivia, which is in Dripping Springs. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, all the way to the west, to the north. We got a good route. So
Yeah, for sure. And on that note, this is part of a larger campaign that we're working on that actually, Cynthia, you haven't even seen this yet, but you do know about it, is the Texas Hemp Trail, which we right now coming soon. But what we plan to do with this is to have places all over the state that you can visit and download for free and go visit and explore Texas hemp. So if you'd like to be listed, like to be included with this, please hit us up. We hope to have this launched later this fall and really celebrate the harvest time and celebrate all the amazing places that you can get hemp here in the state of Texas.
yes.
So you can keep up at texashemptrail.com. Don't put in your email address yet because it doesn't work. Give us like another week. Geez, people, we're working as fast as we can. But we hope that that's going to develop our self-guided tour into a series of tours, maps, experiences all over the state that you'll get to connect with farmers, with manufacturers, with brands, with labs. And this is for the general public. So, you know, this will be like just a really fun opportunity. Events, you'll get sort of like the map of all the events, when they're going to happen, where you can go when you're in a city for an event, like what else is happening around there. So we're super, super stoked about doing all these things and empowering you, the hemp consumer, to guide your own way through this with our guidance, I guess.
Yes.
Almost guide your own way.
Following our cáñamo flag.
Yes. Well, guys, this has been
Yes.
spectacular. A lot of fun. We can't wait to get back next week. We're going to have some more amazing guests. We're booked out with some really solid, fun, very interesting people for the next several weeks. But before we say goodbye, Marcus, you think you could spin us out?
Oh yeah, I can definitely play us out a good jam.
All right.
Yeah.
Marcus, you
Leave
are
it
amazing.
like the
You
next
are
hour.
amazing.
That came out perfect. I would be like, Marcus, you're doing awesome. Yeah, did it work? Am I pointing at you? I can never tell with these squares.
You really are.
Let's do a high five, Leah.
To a human, and you human being, feeling to get confused.
See you, Leah.
Me, my character.
Oh, lost you, Marcus. It's like, there we are.
truth. Things ain't going like things should. It's all on you. It ain't all good. That's the truth. Things ain't going like things should. It's all on you. It ain't all good. That's the truth. Things ain't going like things should. It's all on you. It ain't all good. That's the truth. Things ain't going like things should. It's all on you. It ain't all good. It ain't all good. It's all on you. It ain't all good. That's the truth. Things ain't going like things should. It's all on you. It ain't all good. That's the truth. Things ain't going like things should. It's all on you.
I must have been there. Ooh, yeah. One hit of you, I went through the roof. Your love so strong, that's 100 proof. Much of you, I ain't driving home. No, I ain't spending the night alone. All this lying got me stressing. Tell me why you think you're guessing. I wish I'd learned my lesson, but I wanted you. Yeah, I wanted you. I must have been high when I met you. Out of my mind when I decided to love you. Now I'm just trying to forget you. I must have been high when I met you. Out of my mind when I decided to love you. I must have been drugged off your words, twisted off your kisses, I know. I must have been. I must have been. Could be Mary, could be Molly, could be you. Y'all girls got me in a trance, hypnotized, can't wake up, fantasize. Could be Christina or Lucy, can't believe this how y'all do me. You only call me to use me and abuse me and all this time got me stressing. Tell me why you keep me guessing. I wish I'd learned my lesson, but I wanted you. Yeah, I wanted you. I must have been high when I met you. Out of my mind when I decided to love you. Now I'm just trying to forget you.
My women, don't forget about the thing.
Yeah. What? That was a perfect way to close it out.
I'm gonna say bye to YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. Thanks for having us, everyone. We'll see you next week.